Welcome back to Arcadia Fallen. I think this month I'm looking at playing some adventuresome games where you go on an adventure. This counts, right? I think this counts. So, yeah, in the last episode, we chatted with a whole bunch of people, hung out with all our friends in town. Then we came and delivered some ingredients to Elizabeth that we got from Quinn, and then we made some potions. You step away from the table and glance over your recipe book. There are still new potions for you to discover. Perhaps you should come back later and try and fill. You should come back and try to fill it out later. You might impress Elizabeth. I have some questions.
I see.
Never mind. I apparently can't ask them.
Be careful.
No, sounds like I still need to be doing... Oh. Yeah. I guess. Good night. The sun is setting over the town of Anemone Valley, and you and your strange group of companions have returned to the alchemy shop. As everyone gets settled, you and Elizabeth stand together, observing this strange group.
Well, child, when I originally sent you out to bring back ingredients, this is not what I had in mind.
You mean you didn't expect me to find two mages and... I guess it was just the two mages, but you didn't expect me to find new friends?
Mage, you keep your hands to yourself. I won't have you cooking up some vile magic using the remains of this shop.
I was simply trying to be a helpful guest, picking up some of the debris. But if you don't trust my abilities, perhaps Anne would be so kind as to use some of her tinker magic to fix this.
I specialize in magic-infused items, Michael. I can't just repair any chair or table I come across.
So you have specialized mages for fixing a table?
Well, of course not. The mages specializing in furniture do both chairs and tables. Don't be absurd.
And you wonder why I don't get magic from the Mage Academy.
Elizabeth sighs.
It seems every time I send you outside on an errand, you return with more and more eccentric characters.
Yeah, but they're my friends. It's cool.
I fear I should put you on house arrest.
I guess that wouldn't be an unreasonable option. But they're my friends. We're doing good things.
At least we're making a difference. That's better than sitting around doing nothing.
Your optimism never fails to amuse me, child. Perhaps if there were more people like you in the world, it wouldn't be in such a state. I understand why you brought these people here, and I respect Victoria's judgment. I just worry all of this activity will draw unwanted attention to us.
That is a reasonable concern. However, we did kind of build an elite fighting force by accident, so maybe we'll be fine? There's a sudden knock on the door, and the conversation dies.
This is strange. Who could that be at this hour?
Is it that jerk guy from Quinn's shop? Elizabeth walks over to the door to answer the door, and she barely turns the handle when it bursts open. The imposing figure of Goldner forces his way in, sneering at the group that awaits him inside.
Good evening, Madam Alchemist. I hope you don't mind a bit of a surprise visit.
Two more men step into the shop, their figures imposing as they push past the mine owner and into the shop. Elizabeth keeps her cool, but you notice her knuckles turning white as she clutches her cane.
Messer Goldner. What an unexpected surprise. What brings you here at this late hour?
There's a crash as one of the men roughly pushes the remains of a bookshelf aside in order to make his way out to the kitchen. Goldner grins smugly.
Merely the concerns of a good neighbor. You see, the lads and I have been quite distraught about these strange occurrences. First the forest, and then this strange fire. And now it has come to our attention that an outlander is sneaking around somewhere in town.
An outlander?
We were merely concerned and wanted to check in on you, to make sure he hasn't been hiding out somewhere in the remains of your shop.
There's a crash out the back, the sound of something shattering. Your friends are clumsy, very clumsy.
Your friends sure are a set of clumsy fellows. Are they like this when you invite them home for tea, too? Must be a hassle.
I remember you. You were down at the flower shop as well.
Yeah, I was picking up supplies for this shop that I work at, bud.
Magic filth plotting together, are you? No wonder we citizens have to take matters into our own hands.
Buddy, I was buying plants to do alchemy with. I make healing potions and mosquito repellent, mostly.
Look, Miss Eyre, the person you're looking for is obviously not here. Why don't you and your friends go and look for him somewhere else?
The man lets out a cruel laugh.
And now you're even telling me what to do. You have some gall, child. Pests like you should learn to keep your mouth shut.
That's rude.
That is quite enough.
Elizabeth steps in and her eyes are burning. You've seen your teacher mad before, but this is on a completely different level. Like a carefully contained inferno.
Monsieur Goldner, I am a patient woman, but I will not tolerate you insulting my apprentice. I believe now is the time for you and your companions to leave.
The man looks slightly taken aback by the sudden change in the old woman, and he even flinches a little from the burning fire in her eyes. But then he catches himself like a rooster, puffing up its feathers.
This is... Don't you dare speak like this to me. You do not want to make an enemy of me, madame.
I believe that any chance of a civil relationship ended a while ago, Monsieur. Now, if you would be so kind, get out of my shop.
The man looks furious, eyes flickering between you and your teacher. Gang, you wanna help me out here? Victoria stands up, her hand lazily coming to rest on the hilt of her sword, red eyes glaring holes through the man.
Oh, we're having a brawl. Marvelous.
Wait, we're what?
The guys from the back return and take one look at Victoria's glare before quickly excusing themselves and rushing through the room and out the front door. Goldner looks flustered and frustrated, but even he can see the battle is lost and sniffs dismissively.
Very well. I shall take my leave. But be warned. This is not the last you will hear about this.
The man leaves, slamming the door behind him, and there's a collective sigh of relief in the room.
Really? That was it? And here I thought we were going to have some fun.
Quiet, mage, or you'll be thrown right out with him.
Oh, Victoria. Your bright spirit never fails to lighten up the mood.
Elizabeth lets out a low chuckle and slumps against her cane, looking awfully pale. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry, Elizabeth. You've been warning me about this for so long, and yet I still... Elizabeth sighs and places a hand on your shoulder, gently guiding you and herself to some chairs so you can sit down. Do not fret, child. This was bound to have happened sooner or later. I'm just glad you didn't get hurt. It is my own fault, though, for not wanting to admit sooner that this was the obvious outcome. That man has been on our case for years now, always looking for a chance to get in and wreak havoc on our hard-won peace.
That seems odd.
Just who were they looking for, anyway? What did they mean by Outlander? They are a people of mountain dwellers living beyond the borders of the Althean Empire. They're a reclusive society that rarely interacts with any of their neighboring states. The fact that one of them shows up here at this time, it's highly suspicious.
A stranger far away from home, caught in a local conflict due to their race. How very predictable.
Will those people hurt them if they find them first?
I'll do it.
We have to help them, right? If Golden and his goons find them, there's no telling what they'll do.
You do realize.
What? You want to go outside? Don't you think it's best if we stay out of this? We're already in way too much trouble for my liking. Come on now, Anne, my dear. Where's your hero's spirit? Some poor fellow is out there in the city being chased by an angry mob. Don't you want to lend a hand? Anne just glares at him dully, then sighs. I guess we could go take a look.
Okay.
I agree that catching this person first seems to be in our interest, but he could have gone anywhere in town by now. Outlanders are magical beings, though, right? So shouldn't a hunter like you be able to track him down?
About that.
We should at least give it a try, right? He might have important information that could help us. I'm loath to admit it, but I agree with you, Mime.
We don't have a lot of time, but paragons help you if any of you try something funny.
Fun? In your presence? Perish the thought.
You head out into the streets and begin your search. Victoria takes the lead, hand firmly planted on the hilt of her sword, and eyes hard and focused. The streets are quiet at this late hour, and you notice nothing suspicious on your way to the market square.
So, Victoria, you can sense magic as well?
I guess that explains how you found me, out in the forest back then.
Actually...
Hunters can't sense magic. It is the swords they carry that guide them towards chaotic magic. They are holy weapons forged by the rituals following the teachings of Izzy, the paragon and founder of the Mage Academy. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. You would know about these practices, Anne.
Hunters did save my life by bringing me to the academy, so I've made it a point to be well informed.
Saved your life, huh? Also, Michael, would you stop that? I'm trying to concentrate.
You turn to Michael, who is smirking innocently, a little purple flame dancing in his palm.
Sorry. I was just curious as to how effective the holy weapon of yours was.
Honestly, all I see is the piece of dragon bone strapped to the hilt of your sword.
Really?
Dragon bone? It's quite the rare material. The dragons have been gone for centuries, after all. But it's quite popular in the use of weapon making, since it provides the wielder a bit of an edge, so to say, over magical opponents.
Don't be absurd. Dragons? Really? That sounds like a fairy tale. Victoria, don't you agree?
But Victoria doesn't answer, her head snapping to the side, at the same time as Mime's ears perk up in attention. Guys, I'm sensing another sudden burst of spirit energy. In that instant, a familiar kid comes shooting around the corner, wide-eyed and out of breath.
Alchemist! I'm so glad I found... I was going to the alchemy shop, but... Ronan, my brother, I saw him.
Well done, buddy.
That's great.
You found him? That's very impressive. Well done, Kim. The kid's face flushes slightly red, mixing with the blue to create a very unhealthy-looking hue. And then he remembers to breathe again and somehow calms himself down enough to speak.
Thank you. Well,
My brother. He was with a group of people, and they were all dragging this tall guy with them. I followed them out of town. It looks like they went into the mines. That's brilliant, Kim.
Awesome.
Well done, Kim. We'll go investigate at once.
really?
I'm coming along too. I want to help. You've done enough, buddy.
Actually,
Please trust that we can do our work now, too.
Fine. I'll leave it to you, but please take care, okay?
Kim leaves and you follow his direction to the mines. We're ending this episode. Here we are making progress on the plot of the game. Ba-ba. I don't know. Bye-bye. Sing a little song.